burning.
Detected. Reaction on new sensor. February chamber loaded. Transfer unit setup completed. Good luck.
Hi, welcome to another Retro Core, and as you can see, this week we're taking a look at Burning Rangers. And it just occurred to me that I should have used the sample version of Burning Rangers because that's got the full motion video in MPEG, so it looks a lot better than it does on the actual retail game. Strange they didn't put in MPEG on the retail game, isn't it? Anyway, so here we go with Burning Rangers, Sonic Team's unbelievable push your console to the limits game. Now, it's a real shame they have never actually remade this for the Sega Dreamcast, because it would have been a lot better. And as you can tell, this is the Japanese version, which to be honest is a lot more appealing to me, because I don't like the American dub. No offense to American viewers, I just prefer the Japanese voices. Okay, so here we go, rescuing the first person. Now the whole aim of the game is to go around putting out the fires and rescuing the people trapped in the space station. Now to rescue the people you have to have a certain number of crystals. If you don't have that number of crystals, you've got to go around, put out some more fires to find more crystals in order to rescue all the survivors. And if you don't rescue the survivors, you can't progress through the level. Well, you can leave some of them behind, I guess. Now, Sonic Team really did push the Sega Saturn to do a lot more than it was capable of. Some things worked out really well, such as the lighting effects here. You know, Sega Saturn wasn't exactly known for 3D lighting, but as you can see, it's doing it really well here. The game also features many transparencies. Some of them are as glitchy as hell, some of them look really nice, but you know, at least Sonic Team gave it a try. And that's the whole thing with Burning Rangers. I think the ambition was a bit too much for the actual hardware which Sonic Team were making the game for. The game does suffer from an awful lot of graphic glitches, you know, missing polygons popping up in the background, cameras panning through walls. In fact, the camera's bloody awful. Then again, cameras in all early 3D games were awful. Well, let's not take a look at all the negative aspects of Burning Rangers, which there are quite a few of. Let's take a look at some of the good aspects. So as I was saying, in many ways, Burning Rangers was ahead of its time. One really nice feature which didn't really appear in any other games at the time of this game's release is the voice navigation system. Now you can hear in the background constant chatter. Now that's just not nonsense chatter, that is actually meaningful speech there. Basically, what the navigator is telling you is, you know, watch out for there's an explosion coming up or there's an unstable platform, and she'll also give you directions on which way to go. As with many of Sonic Team's 3D games, the boss battles are all based on a sort of rotation system. Knights used it. So does Burning Rangers. Quite an easy and effective way of doing a 3D stage without any pop-up really, isn't it? There's quite a lot going on there. Full 3D worlds, transparencies and wobbly water effects. How is the Saturn coping? Oop. Not too well, judging from all those polygon glitches, but you know, it's not too bad. Now, control-wise, Burning Rangers can be a little bit fiddly. This is mainly down to the camera angles, to be honest. And also, if you're using a digital control pad, it doesn't really help. The game does play a lot better with the Sega Saturn analog controller. Especially the bonus stage where you're flying your spaceship through the, well, I was going to say through the corridors, but it's more like through the tunnels of the space station. If you use the digital pad, it's just too slow, so you really do need the analog controller for that section. Story-wise, the game is quite nice, this being the Japanese version, as I mentioned before, so it is quite difficult to understand the story if you don't speak Japanese, but in the English version I'm sure they've translated it well. To be honest, I wouldn't really know because I've never played the English language version. As well as putting out fires and rescuing people, you also have to take people to an exit. In this case, we've got to rescue this little boy and carry him to the nearest stable platform so we can teleport him out of the space station. And this can be a right pain in the ass because the explosions are randomly generated, so one hit from an explosion and it's game over, back to the start. Yeah, this is one of the more annoying aspects of the game. But luckily it only happens on this one occasion. Another annoying aspect of the game is here, this is near the end of the game. This is the last level. You have to navigate your way all the way to the top of the stage using these very, very narrow platforms. Now, unfortunately, with the camera being unbelievably unreliable, it does make this section of the game quite taxing and quite annoying, to be honest, since you have to take it really slowly and move the camera around manually. Right. Because once you fall off, back down to the bottom you go. Whey! A nice glitch. Lovely. And here we go with the bonus stage. Yeah, you need the analog controller for this section. Unfortunately, I was an idiot and using a standard Sega Saturn pad. Why didn't I get the analog controller out? Probably because I'm too lazy. I've got to admit though, for the Sega Saturn, that is quite impressive. You know, there's loads of light sourcing there. Something the Sega Saturn is not really known for. So how has Burning Rangers stood up to the test of time? Well, I think it still looks quite pretty. Well, apart from the graphic glitches. But overall, yeah, I'd still say it is quite a pretty looking game. Unfortunately, the camera angles or the camera control does make the game a lot more difficult to play than I remember. Probably because I'm now accustomed to cameras that work. But you know, there are 3D games which have aged a lot more poorly than Burning Rangers. And I still say the game does hold a special place in my collection. And I think at least every Sega Saturn owner should try the game. At least once. And quickly before we end today's show, I'll let you know about the mail section. Now, throughout the game, you can rescue all the people, as I mentioned before, and those people will actually send you lovely emails. Yeah, no internet connection needed, and it's in high resolution. Nice. Can't read these ones though.